Welcome back, everybody, to my channel. And today we're going to be taking a look at another terrifying tale from the famous Riverhouse files. So get yourself something to eat and drink, and let's just get into it. Okay, so to start off, this story comes from Reddit user Eris Lord of Misrule. On April 26, 2007, just after 8 p.m., two young men named Patrick and Joshua disappeared while visiting the Riverhouse in St. Charles, Missouri. Their friends had not heard from them since, and their families were desperate for answers. But I think you're probably thinking, what the hell are you talking about? I don't know what the Riverhouse is. I've never even heard of it before. Well, me neither. That's why I'm here to tell you about it. Basically, the Riverhouse was a historic home that stood along the Missouri River until it was destroyed in 2008. It was built by a wealthy dry goods merchant named Pierre Menard in 1849, and in its time, it was known as one of the grandest homes in the area. Unfortunately, though, as times went on, the house changed hands many times and fell into disrepair. In the late 90s, it was purchased by a couple named Jerry and Kay, who began the slow process of restoring the old house to its former glory. But it was around this time that people in the area started noticing some strange things happening around the house. People would often see lights and shadows moving about inside at night, even though the house was empty and for sale. And some people even claimed to have seen full apparitions of people standing at the windows or walking along the porch. It wasn't long after this that rumors began to circulate about the history of the house, claiming that several people had died there under mysterious circumstances. This made a lot of people afraid to go near the house, believing that it was cursed or haunted. But Jerry and Kay weren't scared away by these rumors. They continued to work on the house, turning it into a bed and breakfast, which they opened to guests in 1999. Business was slow at first, but slowly over time, people became curious about the spooky legends surrounding the house and came to experience it for themselves. But the legends were true. As time went on, many guests and visitors reported experiencing strange phenomena, including disembodied footsteps, shaking beds, whispering voices, the feeling of being touched or pushed, unexplained cold spots, flickering lights, and even full-bodied apparitions. It got so bad that Jerry and Kay were forced to close down their business, putting the house up for rent instead. But nobody wanted to rent it, so they decided to sell it. In 2007, the house was sold to a new owner who planned to turn it into a private museum. But it was during the closing process that Patrick and Joshua disappeared. They were last seen on surveillance tape entering the Riverhouse to inspect the property one last time before the sale was finalized. But they never came out. No signs of a struggle were found, and their car was still parked in the driveway. Their families searched the house and the surrounding areas, but they were nowhere to be found. The police were called in, but they didn't find anything either. And after a few weeks, the case went cold. Some people believed that the boys had run away or that they had been kidnapped. But most people believed that they were still in that house somewhere, trapped or maybe even dead. But if they were dead, how come no one can find their bodies? I mean, that's what really doesn't sit right with me. If they were in that house, then how come the walls aren't stained with blood or the floorboards creaking under their weight? How come no bones have ever been discovered within the walls or foundation? Because of all of the missing persons cases in the United States, I'd say that a good majority of them end up getting solved, especially ones where the victims are still within the home. But this one, oh man, it gets weirder than that because people still claim to this day that the ghost of Patrick and Joshua can be seen wandering through the rooms of the Riverhouse. And a lot of people blame the ghost for the fact that nobody has been able to solve the case. But in 2008, the house burned to the ground. And with it, any hopes of finding out what really happened to Patrick and Joshua vanished too. Fire crews responded to the scene, but by the time they arrived, the house was already engulfed in flames. They worked for hours to put out the fire, but it was too late. The Riverhouse was a total loss. Some people believe that the fire was set intentionally to cover up evidence in the case, but this was never proven. With the house gone, the search for answers ended and the case went completely cold. There have been very few updates since then, and nobody knows what really happened to Patrick and Joshua. Was it a tragic accident? Were they kidnapped, or did they run away? Or maybe they are still stuck in that house, unable to move on because of the tragedy that befell them. It's hard to say for sure. Now, after the fire, the land sat vacant for several years until it was finally cleared and a new house was built on the property. But people still talk about the Riverhouse and the strange things that happened there. Many people believe that the spirits of those who died there, including Patrick and Joshua, still linger on the property and that their presence can be felt by anyone who visits. So I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Unsolved Mystery, but I want to know your thoughts. What do you believe happened in that house? And why do you think they whispered, "It's not empty"? Let me know your thoughts down below. And now I want to take a quick moment to say thank you to some supporters for helping to keep this channel alive. If you would like to support this channel and have your name added to the list, then check the description box for ways that you can help. And as always, my friends, if you like this video, please click the thumbs up button and share it with anyone who might enjoy a good mystery. Also, make sure to subscribe for weekly videos and turn your notifications on so that you never miss an upload. And as we end this live stream, I want to send a shout out to anyone watching right now. Thank you for spending time with me. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.